Today's lesson is on snowflakes, and we're going to be making a radial design snowflake. And we're going to be doing it in the style of the old-fashioned paper quilling. But we're going to do a simplified version because we are elementary kids, and this will be a lot easier for us. I want to show you a snowflake that reminds me of quilling, old-fashioned quilling, that was done in Germany. And this was done with paper, not paper, but wood shavings. So the leftover wood shavings from when they did their clock making in Germany or their other woodworking, because in Germany they're famous for their beautiful woodworking. The leftover shavings, they actually form and shape into snowflakes or use as almost like paper quilling. And this is a snowflake design made of wood. And this is some quilling patterns for quilling. And when you do the quilling is very, very, very thin strips of paper. And if you look here, it's wrapped around needles or toothpicks, tight, tight, tight. See how tight that is? And then people put them together to form designs and pictures and patterns. And they make small pictures out of them. So we're taking this idea of using paper strips wrapped and wound and create our own beautiful radial design snowflakes. And this was actually designed and made by either a 4th or 5th grader a couple years ago. Here's another coil design. And again, this is the 1/4-inch strips that we're using here. So the first thing to do to make this design is we're going to take some 1/4-inch strips. And then we're going to take, if you notice right here, a very small amount of glue. And we're going to place a very small amount, see how much is on my finger? Almost nothing, onto the paper strip. It's real important to have almost no glue and rub it in so it's pretty tacky. And then we're going to take the strip, make it into a U shape, and then I'm going to tuck one end of the U inside so it actually forms a circle or a ring. Okay? So the first step is to make 7 of these rings. So I'm going to just show you on a few of them. Placing a small amount of glue, U shape, ring, so it forms a ring or circle. Almost no glue, and this is the secret. Almost no glue. Wipe it so it's tacky. Some kids put too much glue, and what it'll do is it'll just pop off. Hold it. If it's not coming, if it pops off, you hold it and press with pressure. Look at that. Press with pressure. See that? This is no pressure, pressure. You can see it. And do it for about 10 seconds, and then it should hold. So once you've done 7 of these, then you're going to put it together, placing a little bit of glue, one in the center, one on the top, one on the bottom, press it together, one on the top, one on the bottom, pushing it really hard until it forms a snowman. So there's one that's completely done. And then you take your next 2 rings, so we have 2 more, and you'll place 2 on each side, one there, and then one there, and then your last ring will go on this side. And when you press them, you put a little bit of glue here, hold and press really hard, hold and press really hard, so you have the next shape, which is a circle. It's a ring and it looks something like a flower. So again, the snowman starts out, snowman, then 2 on each side glued, press and hold, and then you form your flower. Once you have your flower, then you can add another row to the flower. Taking your strips, applying a small amount of glue, and that's the secret. Small amount rubbed in, small amount rubbed in, and you place it on each side of the flower. That is your next row right there. And you can go ahead and pinch like that, or you can leave it rounded. It's up to you. You can then decorate another row using some of the quilling techniques. you might want to do some V scrolls. So take your paper, fold this in half. This is a V scroll. And then take and wrap the ends around a pencil or a straw, real tight, just wrapping it. And you can wrap it as tight as you want. You can do it long or short. And there's one side done. See? Let's move the paper so you can see it. There's one side. Then you can attach them to the ends if you'd like. So you're going to invent how you want to make your snowflake. Let's look at some real snowflakes here. These are actual real snow crystals. And there was a man, you might have heard of him, he invented a method of taking photographs of real snowflakes. Does anybody know who was the first guy to invent? His first name is named after snow. His nickname, Snowflake who? Who is it?
Snowflake Bentley.
Yes, Snowflake Bentley was the first guy who photographed in the 1800s snowflakes. And there he is with his large camera. And he actually studied snow for 3 years. And after 3 years, he found that there are no two snow crystals alike. And these are his actual photographs that he took from snow in the 1800s. And after studying for 3 seasons, he concluded that there are no snowflakes alike. When I was a girl in New Hampshire, we used to look at snow crystals. They used to land on our mittens, and we'd look at them. And then if you looked quickly before they melted, because usually when they hit your skin or your mitten, they melt pretty quick. But you can actually see a real snowflake. This is just amazing. If you've ever got a chance to see snow, you can actually see real snow crystals with your eye, not with a microscope. These are pictures that were taken with a microscope, a camera with a microscope attachment onto it, which is just amazing. But a snowflake is a radial design. It comes out from a center point and it repeats the same all around. And they're just amazing and fascinating and beautiful. Each snow crystal is formed because they're shaped differently. In the atmosphere where they're made, up in the clouds, as they're forming, if it's hotter, colder, if there's more moisture in the air, that affects the way the crystals form and attach. Sometimes the crystals multiply. Most of the time they have 6 branches or arms, but sometimes they have up to 12 even. They've been found. And that has to do with the atmosphere, the condition in the atmosphere of how they're made up. But to go ahead and start, let me show you some more examples here of kids' designs. Here's some with the feathers. And then I have the one I showed you here in the beginning. I'm going to show you how to double bend these. So once you have your first row, you have your center, you have your row that look like flowers, you can then pinch them like this. You can even double pinch, which means make a press. Oh, let me show you on one that's attached better. Press on one side, press on the other. This is a double pinch. Now remember, whatever you do on one side, you need to repeat and do all along. So this is more squared off here. So then you would continue this pattern, double pinching along the whole side. So you can go ahead and invent your own snowflakes and using the quilling methods here that you see here. And just have fun experimenting and designing your own snow crystal.